See, when I was a young kid, my neighborhood had variety. We had blacks, Hispanics, and whites all in a small society. It was diverse. We had natives, Asians, kids of mixed descent, yet we never saw a difference in race. We didn't know what it meant. I knew Marcus was a different color, but I still considered him my brother. We never ever judged each other based off the skin of one another. But as I grew older, I began to see the prejudice. I began to see the evidence that actually misrepresents the race of an individual, like the story on the news, which we let ruin our principles when we should let our minds choose between what's really wrong or really right, and not judge before it comes to light. But people place stereotypes before knowing what someone's really like. If you see a black man and instantly label him a criminal, then your IQ must be minimal if you only judge from what's visible. If you come across a Latino and assume he's illegal, then you probably have some nerve generalizing a whole group of people. If a man says he's Arabic, but in your ears you hear terrorist, then you should probably see a therapist because you're obviously not aware of it that not all Muslims are radical or the root of all evil. The ones I've met are peaceful people, confused why they're not treated equal. See, we claim to be the melting pot that we're picking up ingredients, and there's no true definition of what a human being is. We come in different shapes and sizes. I know sometimes we ain't the nicest, but nobody's born with hate or violence. Our worlds are skewed to let race define us. So to me, that means we've got the potential to make things work because we all reside from the same neighborhood called Earth.
Thank you, Erwin.
Somebody told me he was the end of the world, but that was just for some. Peace to the dead, strength to the chosen. See, I've played enough games and seen enough movies to survive the end of the world. Round 42 when zombies taught me how to herd mindless flesh eaters while your crew gears up for the perpetual slaughter of those somebodies you used to know. One full season of Survivor Man and the Book of Eli taught me how to endure the various climates, untouched or radiated, I might come across in my trek across the country after a nuclear holocaust. Our first travel towards the ruins of the West Coast and the last library of the known world as they record down my poems and rhymes of scripture, then heading east into the scarred landscape of the capital, mazing through the subway systems of DC, finding off the zombie/vampire monsters and a mad vengeance for Robert Neville's dog. Now, with all this knowledge, I feel ready for any and every apocalypse. Then I get those oh shit moments, you know, when in the distance it sounds like a plane crashing and a few bombs falling seconds before they go off in the background, and now you're thinking, you, the Lone Ranger, have to bring justice and humanity back into the crumbling world. World set ablaze by zombies, a few atom bombs, asteroids, and nuclear winters. You, the Lone Ranger. At least that's what I think about. See, somebody told me it was the end of the world, but that was just for some. Peace to the dead, strength to the chosen. And now a few months ago, the end, it came and gone. From what I've seen, the world still hasn't changed. We got Palestine still locked down. The oil in the Middle East the world is dying for, some asshole decided to hold a flame to it. While over in the civilized West, we have good old patriots shouting misconstrued revolution who will barrel an iron sight. While our next president is probably going to be elected through likes on a Facebook page, the greatest trial of ages will be deciding between the latest smartphones. Then there are those who want change and still think the black president can determine that, whether it be change from the world or change for your pocket. Rule number 18, limber up motherfuckers, because pretty soon we're going to be running the world. It's going to be run around or run down. So by then, those of you who can still read a book and determine the difference between social activism and watching a YouTube video, power to you. See, somebody told me it was the end of the world, but that's just for some. Peace to the dead, strength to the chosen. Now, you may disagree, but I can see the system. I watch The Matrix. So, fuck a job, fuck a 9 to 5, we got 95 songs to write. We all rise up, reaching for our dreams, destined to crash. Hiding from the fallout beneath the surface is those of us who rise from the fog of fire and rebuild from the ashes. For those sad who couldn't come up. So for all those Lone Rangers out there, we can't do this alone. So we gotta gear up for the next round. But instead save those mindless zombies from the slaughter that are produced from the media dropping bombs of ignorance that radiates through those digital signals of the spiderweb. That instead of shedding our hair and skin and uncontrollable vomit, we instead vomit out bullshit that only continues society's condition. Shed our brain cells that inhibits our attention because I can't pay attention to shit for more than 5 minutes anymore. But we got some ground to cover. Traverse the labyrinths of these cultures and adjust the climate because we got kids pulling heat in the middle of winter. We need to look at the bigger picture. Impact like these asteroids become the speakers instead of the spoken. Reach some enlightenment and refinement. Testing our metals and shift from the bronze to the golden, the risen and awoken. Somebody told me it's the end of the world. That was just for some. Peace to the dead, strength to the chosen.